Imagine this. A police officer is alone on a dark, tense street, handling a domestic dispute inside a house, and his partner is standing outside watching through the window, trying to read every single movement, every gesture, every micro-expression, because in that moment, one wrong signal could mean the difference between life and death. And suddenly, across the room, without saying a single word, without touching a radio, without alerting the dangerous suspect even slightly, the officer slowly raises his hand and spreads 4 fingers. And in that quiet, invisible moment, everything is communicated, because that is the secret, silent power of the 4-finger signal in law enforcement. And today, we are going to go deep into exactly what it means, where it comes from, why police rely on it, how it works in real situations, and how that same concept of 4 fingers has expanded far beyond police work into something that could one day save an ordinary person's life. Let's begin at the very core of this. The most common hand signal that street cops use between themselves is displaying 4 fingers, which represents code 4, meaning they do not need any help. Iron guys. And while that sounds simple on the surface, when you truly understand the world that police officers live in every single day, you begin to realize just how profound and powerful that one gesture really is. Because police officers operate in environments where speaking out loud can escalate a situation, where reaching for a radio can trigger a panic, where even a wrong facial expression can send a volatile moment spiraling completely out of control. And so they developed this non-verbal language, this silent vocabulary of hands, eyes, nods, and posture that allows them to communicate complex, life-critical information in the blink of an eye. And the 4-finger signal is the crown jewel of that silent system. When the first officer arrives at a scene and has taken control of the situation, he will hold up a 4-finger hand sign to subsequent officers arriving. This is the visible sign for code 4, meaning the situation is under control and no further assistance or backup is needed. Cora. And think about what that really means in a practical sense. Imagine a chaotic scene on a busy highway where 3 police cars have rushed to the location, sirens blazing, hearts pounding, and the very first officer has already assessed the situation, determined it is under control, and rather than creating even more noise and confusion by radioing back to everyone, he simply steps out of his vehicle, raises his hand, and spreads those 4 fingers wide and steady, and every arriving officer immediately understands. Stand down, we are good, no danger here. And just like that, a complex tactical decision is communicated in less than a second with 0 words spoken, and the entire operation becomes smoother, calmer, and safer for everyone involved, including the public standing nearby watching. During a domestic dispute, an officer standing outside may find it hard to determine if their partner inside is okay, so they flash 4 fingers with an inquisitive look on their face. And if the officer inside responds with 4 fingers, they know the situation is under control. But if there is no response, that silence itself is the alarm. It tells the outside officer that the situation is escalating and immediate assistance may be needed. Iron guys. And this is where you begin to truly feel the genius of this system, because it is not just about what the signal means when it is given, it is equally about what the absence of the signal means. Because in law enforcement, silence can be as loud as a gunshot, and these officers have trained themselves to read the presence and the absence of communication equally, which is a level of situational awareness that most people never even come close to developing in their entire lifetimes. Now, beyond the police world, the concept of 4 fingers has taken on an entirely different but equally powerful meaning in modern society. The signal for help was created by the Canadian Women's Foundation and introduced on April 14, 2020, and the signal is performed by holding one hand up with the thumb tucked into the palm, then folding the 4 other fingers down, symbolically trapping the thumb. And it was designed intentionally as a single continuous hand movement so it could be made easily visible. Wikipedia. And this signal went viral through social media platforms during the COVID-19 lockdown periods, because people who were stuck at home, potentially with their abusers, would sneak the symbol into a video call, raising their palm to the camera, tucking the thumb in, then covering it with the 4 fingers, without the abuser nearby even realizing that a desperate, silent cry for help had just been sent. The history of English. And the beauty and the heartbreak of this gesture exist side by side because it is born out of real human suffering, real fear, and real danger, and yet it is also a testament to human creativity, resilience, and the deep instinct we all have to reach out and say, "I need help," even when every single door around us has been shut and locked. Just as gang members use tattoos as a sort of secret language, cops use signals to openly communicate with fellow officers without arousing suspicion from the public or those listening to chatter on police scanners. Rancor. And this tells you something profound about human nature itself, that in every high-stakes, high-pressure environment, whether it's a battlefield, a police beat, or a locked room with an abuser, human beings will always find a way to create language, to create code, to send meaning through the silence, because connection and communication are not just social preferences, they are survival instincts, they are written into our DNA, and the four-finger signal, whether used by a veteran officer on a late-night patrol or a frightened person on a video call, is one of the most elegant and important examples of that ancient human truth. So, the next time you see someone hold up four fingers, whether it's a cop on the street, a football player in the fourth quarter, or someone on a live stream who looks just a little too still, just a little too tense, pause for a moment, look closer, read the context carefully, because language is not always spoken, meaning is not always written, and sometimes the most important message a person can ever send you fits perfectly in the silent language of four fingers.